looking like this? Tell me, am I looking like this? No, not at all.
Hey, what's going on, you beautiful people? My name's Tie-Dye. I hope you guys had a pretty awesome day today. My day's been pretty awesome so far. So today I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about college because I have been doing a lot of stuff recently that has to do with me going to college. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to be going to college to become a game designer. Now, this can be applied to many different things, but there's a lot of cool stuff that happened when I went, and I kind of want to share my experience with you guys. Now, the funny thing is I actually made a video about this about last Thursday or Friday or something like that, but I never actually posted it. I recorded the entire thing, made the entire video, but didn't put it out there because last weekend was actually my college open house. I went there, I went to go check it out for the very first time. I've never been there, and I was blown away with just how cool it was, and I am so excited to finally go. So like I said, on the weekend I went, and essentially what happened was I went down there. It wasn't like a tour or anything. You just sort of walked around the entire campus, and it's about 2.5 hours away from where I live, so it's quite a distance, but it's really nothing too crazy. Anyways, we walked around, and what I want to do, like I said, is the game development, and that's more of the art side, but you do have to tackle some coding and some, you know, putting things together. And anyway, so I went there and I was looking at some of the student portfolios and some of the show reels and talking to a lot of the students, and it just seemed so me. It was one of those things where I'm like, this is something that I know I really want to do. Like, I was super excited when I did get accepted into this program when I applied for it a few months back, but finally, like, being there and looking at it and seeing what it was like, it was just super exciting to finally see something like that. The reason I think it was so exciting to see something like that is because I'm always at school, you know, in high school in grade 12, and I'm looking at this work and I'm like, I know I don't want to do this. I know if I was home right now and I was practicing some graphic design or practicing character modeling or anything to do with game design, I would be learning so much more. And when I was finally in that environment, it was like people were finally taking it seriously. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but I feel like whenever I'm at home, no one in my family really understands why I'm doing all this stuff, and my friends really understand why I put so much time into this stuff. But it was kind of cool to be there for the first time and have like legitimate conversations with people about, you know, why Maya is better than Cinema 4D for certain things and which renderer is the best and all this cool stuff, and having like legitimate face-to-face conversations with people who actually understand what I'm saying for the first time. I think the last time I kind of had that experience is when I went to Worlds, right? Like, you can't really have these face-to-face conversations about video games or something like that when you're talking to people who don't get it. So when I went to the World Finals for League of Legends, I could talk to like anybody about this stuff, and it was super cool. So it was kind of like that experience as well, and I loved it. It was so cool to finally do that, and of course with it came a lot of the pros and a lot of the cons, right? So the student I was talking to, I believe his name, I actually don't even know what his name was. If I do remember it, I'll have it in the description. Super nice guy. He had an amazing show reel, and he was telling me all the good things about the program and a lot of the bad things, and honestly, it does not sound like a very easy time. So obviously it's cool because you're making games. You're doing exactly what you're doing. If you're very passionate about it, you're gonna go far. But from what he said, it sounds like every single day is like a sleepless night. He said on average that people get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Most of the students just sleep within the lab itself, and a lot of people just don't do anything. He said if you have a part-time job, you're probably gonna fail the course because 50% of the class does. So that's a little bit scary. But I mean, this is something that I do so much on the side. This is something I'm very passionate about. So I think, you know, honestly, if this is something that I really do want to do, I can pull this off and I can get it done. And I'm super excited about that. And I know a lot of you guys who watch this do want to go into design, whether you've already gone to school for it, you're going to school for it, or hopefully in the future will go to school for it. And I just want to give you guys some advice after, you know, going there, checking out and learning some things. So my first piece of advice is if you're going to want to go to college or university to learn this kind of stuff, don't go just to learn the programs. If you want to go to college for just, you know, learning how to use Cinema 4D or learn how to use Maya or learn how to use Unity or anything like that, don't do that. There are so many tutorials online. Like right now, if you want to learn that right now, you can do it right now. Go to cubebrush.com. Go to Pluralsight or digitaltutors.com, go to gumroad.com. Those 3 websites will teach you everything you need to know about these programs and everything you need to know about making games or making art or making whatever you want to make, and you do not need to go to school for that. The reason I want to go to school for something like this is for not only having that sort of community of people around you that are doing the same thing that you're doing, but to have a kind of schedule as to what I should be doing at what time, and have an actual teacher to teach me what is right, what is wrong, and always be criticizing my work. Like, I think that's so important because right now I'm just making everything I can. I'm all over the place and I have nobody sort of critiquing what I'm doing. Speaking of teachers, I think I met the actual professor for the course, and it was really cool because they had Oculus Rift VR headsets everywhere, and I played one of the games that he made for it. It was like a little demo, and that was my first time using VR, and it was absolutely amazing. If you ever get a chance to use VR, do it. It was like some sort of setup where we were in like downtown New York, it must have been, and it was everything was in slow motion. There was like explosions everywhere, police officers and cars getting blown up, and then this giant robot comes out and screams in your face. And even though I saw what was coming up ahead, like it made me jump back. Like, it was so real. So That was super cool. Hopefully I get to work on some of that stuff in the future. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about it. It was just so cool to finally be able to sit down and talk to people and be like taken seriously for a lot of the work that I do on the side here on YouTube and this kind of graphic stuff, and really just be sort of like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but like I just do all this stuff, but I never really get to talk to people face to face about it. And I thought that was so cool, and I cannot wait to sort of be in a community of people where we're all working and doing the same thing and sort of understanding what we're all doing. Anyways, that's just sort of my experience with that. If you guys have any advice for me or anything you want to share with other people, make sure to leave it as a comment down below. I can't wait to do this. I'm starting up in September, so I have to actually move over there in residence, and it's like crazy expensive and stuff, but I think it's gonna be worth it. Should be a great time. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, leave a comment if you want to, like this video if you can, and subscribe if you're new here, guys. But once again, my name's been Tie-Dye. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.